Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today we've got a blend that we want to review for you, but first I want to talk about something that's coming up. The president of the North Texas Briar Club got a hold of me and has asked us to record a session with them, and it's going to be kind of a round table discussion is what it's going to be, and it can cover all sorts of different topics. But why I'm mentioning this to you is because although we know that it's going to be one of our episodes coming up, we want you to give us ideas for what topics you want us to discuss. Whether it be what's the best way to load a pipe, or what are the best English tobaccos out there, or whatever you want it to be. We would like for you to send us some ideas so that we can pose that to these guys in the roundtable discussion. There's guys from this club that has an enormous amount of experience and knowledge that they can share. So this is a really great opportunity for you guys. If you've got something you've always wanted to know about, or what our opinions are on certain things, now's the time to get those things out. So we are going to shoot that episode on the 24th of April. So we need your ideas before then.
Yeah.
So please get underneath there under the video and just send us your ideas, and we will pose those to the round table and get some really interesting discussions going with that.
Absolutely.
So looking forward to it. It's going to be we're going to hold that at the what's that place called? The Tobacco Cabana in Cedar Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, so and again, it is the North Texas Briar Club. So if you happen to be in the Metroplex area, you need to come out there and be a part of the discussion.
Come out. Yeah, we'd love to see you. That lounge is really cool to sit and smoke in as well. So.
Yeah, so please feel free to come and partake of what's going on that day. Again, the 24th, and I don't have a time yet. I think the last one was at noon that we started.
Yeah, and we got done at around 5.
Yeah, so but as I get times, I'll let you know. Okay, so thanks for coming today, Nathan.
No problem.
Today we are going to talk about Pease's Spark Plug. Now, Spark Plug has been out there for just a little bit more than a year, and when I first tried it, it's a good English blend, but there was an element that just didn't quite settle with me, and I didn't just absolutely love it when it first came out. So the version that we're smoking today, guys, is over a year old.
Yes,
it's been sitting in a jar for a year, and so I'd like to go ahead and talk about the original version, and then compare it to what we've got here.
Okay.
And let's just kind of go from there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is made by, this is Pease's Spark Plug, and it's actually made by Cornell & Deal, manufactured by Cornell & Deal. And it is an English blend, although some people have compared this to a Balkan blend. I'm not quite sure it's right there with a Balkan blend. You know, the term Balkan in the tobacco world has so many different meanings of what people think are Balkan blends. I don't quite think it's a Balkan blend, simply because I don't taste a lot of Orientals in it. I get more Latakia than anything else, but so I'm going to call it a nice, full, balanced English blend. It's got Latakia, Oriental Turkish, and Virginias in it. There are no flavorings. It comes in a plug, and I had to cut up all of what I had for this episode, so I don't have a plug right here, but I did take a picture of the plug before I cut it up, so I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. All right, it comes in 50 gram tins. You can get it anywhere that's GLP is sold. Strength on this is a medium. There's no flavorings. Nice full flavor. And so now let's go ahead and talk about the room note on this one.
Tin note. Yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, tin note.
So you can tell that this one has been aged a little because it's very tempered. You get a nice smoky campfire smell, a little bit of the spice. I will say one thing, and this is one thing that I really love about GLP, and I know it's made by C&D, but some C&D Englishes don't. You get what I'm saying?
They don't measure up to that.
I don't know what type of Latakia is, but this is a fantastic English scent. So no pomp and circumstance, no fluff, just an English smell, and it's very pleasant. It seems very mannered and tempered. And that's the only way I can say a very proper English smell.
So, yes, the smell has not changed a whole lot from the year that I've had it. It was a little stronger in Latakia.
Okay.
In the smell when I first got it, but for the most part, it's very similar.
So that's how it smelled roughly a year ago, as what it did now.
Yes.
So then it just came as a very dignified gentleman.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's got that campfire. I smelled hints of cedar.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
It's like lots of incense in there. There's a leather background to it. There is a floral and a spiciness to it. Man, it just smells like a wonderful English blend.
Yeah.
You know, that mustiness that you kind of get from the Orientals.
Yeah.
That's in there
Yeah.
too.
It's just a really good smell.
It's a great tin note on this.
Yeah.
If you love Englishes, this is, to me, one of the perfect.
Yeah. It's just a
tin
really
notes.
good smell.
Yeah.
Man, and nothing fights anything in that tin note. It's all just coming through, and I like it. I really like that tin note, and I'm enjoying the smoke so far.
All right. Well, let's talk about the taste. What do you get out of the taste?
The taste, right when I first lit it up, one of the first things I said was, man, it's different. Because an initial burn, sometimes I taste the butane of the lighter when I'm lighting the top of my pipe. Or sometimes I taste, the very lemony, grassy flavors of Virginia's coming through that just really, the things that burn first and burn quick just go through, and that's what I taste initially. This one, the only way I can describe it is it tastes like the smoke from a charcoal barbecue. And it's just like when the charcoals are just starting to get lit. Before they turn gray, before they actually turn into coals and heat, right when that smoke is actually starting to come up off of the bricks. That's what I tasted. And I was like, wow, that was a little different.
Huh, cool.
It was really, really nice.
So your initial taste of it was just a shade different than what I got.
Okay.
When I first lit it, the first thing that hit me was the sweet and sour. That sweet and sour kind of taste. And then right immediately following that, I got the smoky, musty, kind of tangy
that's what
taste.
I was, and that's what I was on board for right there. Was that smoky, tangy taste?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really
There's
good.
just enough tanginess in it to make me want to come back. It's certainly a full-bodied Latakia smoke, but those other elements in there, like the tanginess, a little bit of the Orientals in there. There's even a little nuttiness going on in there. Makes me want to keep drawing and keep tasting that. The smokiness is there, but it's not just so overbearing that it's like, because like, for instance, I smoke Pirate Cake, which is another C&D blend.
And that one is very Latakia heavy.
I think this one is just as, maybe not the ratio that Pirate Cake has, but it just has as much Latakia flavor to it without getting in the way, without just overwhelming.
Yeah, because that one, we can do an episode on that one because I don't think we have yet.
No.
But both of us have smoked that one and both of us have enjoyed it. But this one, it makes a good comparison to that Pirate Cake. You get just as much as that tangy, smoky flavors from the Latakia in this. But you get some of those also, the pepperiness from the Turkish or the Oriental. You know, you get some of that spice through, and then the Virginias come through, and they just kind of sweeten the blend up a little bit.
Yeah. They use some red Virginias in here, and those red Virginias are kind of like a dark fruitiness, kind of slightly sweet and earthiness and bready. Man, it's really well balanced. It wasn't though when I first smoked it a year ago.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to lean to you on that. I did not get to smoke.
When I first smoked it a year ago, it just had a little bit of harshness to it. You know, it was not as melded together as this one seems to be after a year. It was still smokable. It was still good. But at that time, everybody was out there buying spark plug, got to try spark plug. And I did, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's good. Like many GLP's English blends, you know, but it just wasn't. Angels didn't sing when I smoked it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that it's been a year later, man, everything has just come together. You know, and I find that interesting because there's a lot of GLP stuff.
Yes.
That to me needs
a little time.
It needs 3 to 6 months.
Well, and a lot of their stuff comes in cakes or flake tobaccos or things like that. So they're really moist. You know, they're going to need a little bit of drying out time when you break them apart. And I think giving it that aging time does some justice to it. I really think it does.
You know what my favorite part of this taste is, though? The taste profile. I'm always looking for those English blends that have that creamy mouthfeel. And this one has it.
Yes, it does.
This one has it. It didn't when I got it straight out of the tin. You wait a little bit, and it just does some wonderful things.
It really is good.
It really does. All right, well, what do you think about the room note?
Room note, I think, is a very tolerable room note. If you're a smoker, you're going to be appreciative of the lingering smoky Latakia smell because it's not an overpowering funk. The must doesn't carry through on this one, just that campfire smokiness to me. If you're not a pipe smoker,
yeah, you're not gonna like it.
You should become one because that's when you're gonna like it.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it if you're not a pipe smoker because this is a typical full English room note, and it lingers.
Yeah,
it holds on for a while. Yeah. All right. What about the moisture level? What did you think about the moisture level while you were loading your pipe?
Well, I've had a couple relights, but I think it's because of I'm breaking in a new pipe, so I packed it differently. That way, I could make sure that the carbonizing works appropriately throughout the rest of the bowl the way I want it to. But I think once it was broken apart, maybe 10 minutes to let it dry a little, just to be ready to smoke. It's ready to smoke as is. It's just, I'm having to do so much just to make sure the pipe goes.
I was really impressed on how much of the moisture it retained over the year. Of course, I jarred it immediately. And so it retained a lot of the moisture.
And you had it jarred in the plug form, not in broken apart.
That's right. I just broke it apart probably 30 minutes before we started this episode. And so it's been sitting out for about 30 minutes to dry up a little bit. But yeah, that for the most part, it does come moist. But it smokes well.
Yeah, it smokes very well.
Pretty consistent. What do you think about the nicotine?
This one is about... it's just under medium. I would almost say mild even on the nick hit because it's more about the flavor with this smoke that I'm starting to understand. There's not enough nicotine to make me, woozy or anything like that. I think it's just there because tobacco has nicotine in it. That's pretty much what it is.
Moderate to medium.
Yeah,
moderate to medium, somewhere in that range. Enjoyable.
Very
enjoyable. Okay,
very.
A couple other things about this blend. that I've noticed, and I've been smoking this on and off now for a year.
Just waiting to see when it gets better and better.
To see when it's ready to go, and for me, the target seems to be a year.
Okay.
Each smoke got better, but this time it just was really delicious.
So I have a question then. Do you think it would have gotten better with more time, or do you think a year for this particular smoke is about, this is, it's so good as it is right now, there's no need to wait past a year?
I'm gonna, we still have about 2 or 3 more bowls in that jar, and I'm probably gonna let it sit for a little bit, maybe another month or so. But it
might not make it past.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make it that long, but it's delicious. Now I've got some that are sitting in the cellar right now, and probably wait for a 2-year mark for those and revisit it and see if it's gotten any better. But right now, it's delicious the way it is right now, and I'm not sure that's going to last another 6 months.
No, that one's not.
Yeah, it's not going to last another 6 months for me to check and see what it's going to be like. There's no bite to this. There's no harshness. When it was young, when it first came to us, it had some harshness. This one, all the harshness is gone. It's all the flavors are very easy. They work well together. They're melded. Now the plug. This is a true plug that is layered with whole leaf.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not really pressed, condensed really hard like let's say Salty Dog.
Yeah.
Salty Dog, I had to use a chainsaw to kind of cut through,
man, I remember that.
This one, it's almost like a crumble cake, but except it has more whole leaf kind of concept to it. So it breaks apart pretty easy, slices pretty easy.
Yep.
It burns slow and cool because of the larger leaf on it. It's got so many different nuances. Man, this thing is just, I'm getting flavors that I can't even put my finger on some of the flavors that are coming through right now.
Yeah.
With that, it's rich, it's long lasting. You might get a little dampness in the bowl because of its moisture content. I've had to do some relights. Because of its robustness, I'm not quite sure that this is an all-day smoke.
I don't either, but I would say this is a great capstone or start point because it's not so harsh that you couldn't start your day with it either. That smoke
and see,
with
on the other way around, I want to end my day with this.
Oh, okay.
I want to sit down after dinner in my smoke room with, a beverage.
Yep.
And watching some TV and just
full belly,
just mellowing out because this is hitting every button that I want it to hit. You'll look at those pictures that I put in the video. The colors of this blend are just beautiful.
Yeah,
so many shades of brown and tan, and it's just really cool. It's got some oranges in there, some blondes in there.
Yeah, this one looked really cool.
And the artwork on the tin is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Get online and look at the artwork on the tin because it's pretty creative. First of all, Spark Plug, so it's got a big Union Jack flag on it, and it's got a picture of a spark plug. Of course, the plug relates to the plug form that it's in, and the Union Jack because it's kind of an English blend. So there's a lot of thought that went into that artwork.
There is on a lot of GL Peace's artwork on their tins, man. Some of their GL Peace in its own right has a very artistic and classic flair when it comes to the tobacco world. They're really the only guys that do that kind of stuff. Everybody else has funny little things like Burley Morning Pipe and things like that. They have cool puns and stuff like that, but everything on GL Peace has something like that.
Yeah, and some of the GLP stuff will have pictures of places like there's a blend that he has that has some London pictures on it and things like that. A couple of blends that he has. Yeah. Some of them are just as simple as a picture of the tobacco kind of in a black and white
Yeah, I've seen that
form.
one.
You know,
Yeah.
so those are pretty cool. This comes in 2-ounce tins, so it works out to be about $5.85 an ounce. This is a popular blend, readily available. You can get it just about anywhere.
Yep.
All right. Well, what are your last thoughts about this one?
Guys, try it. And seriously, this is one of those tobaccos, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that with all GL pieces. I've bought GL piece product tobacco that I didn't like before, and I gave it to him, and he didn't like it either. He jarred it, and I can't remember. I think it was this last Christmas. We were just like, well, let's go ahead and try it, and it had been aging for 2 years, and holy cow, it got way better. So the only thing I'm going to say, if you buy a GLP's product and you don't like it, don't give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Sell her.
Sit on it for a while.
Put it in a jar and then seal it.
I did that with Black Point, with GLP's Black Point.
Yeah.
Coming out of the tin, it just wasn't what I wanted. I let it sit for 3-4 months, tried it again, still not quite there. I pressed it
Yeah.
into a cake form, and it was great.
Navigator is the same way. I didn't like it. The rum forward note, there was too much rum on it, and it burnt way too hot, and it tarnished the rest of the leaf on the tobacco. He put it in that jar. That rum mellowed out completely, but it added a fantastic nuance, and then all the leaves came through. So seriously, that's the only thing I'm going to add. All of GL Pieces products, sit on them. If you don't like them, sit on them.
So try them again.
Will
Yeah.
not disappoint you.
Yeah. All right. So what are you going to give it?
I don't know how and this is weird for me, I don't know how a fresh tin tastes. So I don't know how to give it a score aside from the nice matured 1-year-old blend that I am enjoying. But the 1-year-old blend in my mind is getting 4 shots out of 5, because that is a very pleasant blend. It's very easily accessible. The only thing is since I know that the 1-year-old version gets a blend, instead of giving it a 4.5, which I want to, I have to wait a year. And I'm not a patient kid. I'm not a patient guy. So waiting a year makes it hard for me to want to re-experience that smoke again.
This particular version that we've aged for a little over a year is right there up with my favorite Englishes. I would say in my top 3.
Yeah.
It's in my top 3. But what you just said, having to wait for it to get there,
You have to give it that time. Yeah.
it knocks it down a little bit for me.
That's what knocked it down.
So I'm with you on this. I would have gave it a 4.5.
Yep.
But I'm going to give it a 4.
Yep, because we know we have to buy it and we have to sell it for a year to
Yeah.
get it to that 4.5 quality.
And see
quality smoke.
the ones that I have cellaring right now, they're not in jars. I didn't even crack it open.
Yeah.
So that might even
Make a difference
I
because
don't know.
then the paper packaging that GLP's puts it in is in there, and that retains a lot of moisture too.
Yeah. So who knows what but we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm excited.
That's the great thing about this hobby is that you have so many opportunities to experiment and try different ways of doing things, and it's infinite.
Yes.
As to what a person could
Absolutely
do with it. So
And the cool thing is with the GLPs, we're not saying you're making a $20 investment on a tin of tobacco. This is a $10, $11, $12 investment on 2 ounces of what I can promise you will be a good tobacco if you give it the time to be that way.
yeah, I agree with you. All right, well, so we give it a 4.
4
This is
shots.
GL Pieces Spark Plug. Give it a 4. Guys,
There's
if you enjoy English blends, this is one that you have to put on your bucket list. To
Yeah,
at least
absolutely.
try. Like I said, it is a full flavored English, but it's not harsh at all. It blends and balances well together. With some age, for me it came out perfect.
Yeah.
So-
it came out very well. And guys, get some GLP stuff. We tried Windjammer when it just came out and everything. That one was good to smoke on its own. That one I'm going to want to give time to.
Yeah, but to me that was one of the GL pieces that didn't need.
It didn't need
to
it.
rest any or age any. It was ready to go right out the tin.
But I'm starting to learn that with GL pieces, I mean, just giving it time. I think I'm gonna buy one of every GL piece made, and then just
let it sit for a while.
put it back, forget about it, and then come back to it.
So don't forget, guys, send us your ideas about the roundtable discussion that we're going to have on April 24th. And as soon as I get times as to when that meeting is going to start, I'll include it in the video, and I'll also put it in the description so that you can kind of have that information as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for coming over today.
No problem.
Really enjoyed
Thank you
this
for the smoke.
Yeah, this is a great one.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure that you send us your comments and your ideas. We do read all of that, and we act upon it as well.
Yes. Yes, we do.
So we encourage you to continue that. Thank you very much, and don't forget,
Make all your piping moments count.
have a great week. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.